Alright guys, here's a video review for Mastermind Creations reformatted R-24 TURBEN aerial assault. That is, as you can see, Whirl. And he's not quite more than meets the eye, Lost Light Whirl. He's reminiscent more of his Stormbringer design, but still a pretty cool, like not quite helicopter, more of a jet copter type thing. He's got the landing gear under here, which do fold up if you wish. Just flip them up like that. He's got his little gun on the front, little posable gun. The instructions make it look like there was originally going to be a flap here. Maybe that's the hip piece. A flap here that would fold down to hide the gun. It's even in the instructions, but I haven't found it. Let me see if I can find it here in the instructions. You do get the instruction / comic. This is the comic over on this side. So some comic pages over on this side of the manual. Flip it over, and you get the actual instructions themselves. He comes with the ancient sword, which has kind of become a staple with a lot of these reformatted figures. A couple of guns, which you can see are attached to his turbines and everything. And it shows off the transformation process. And where's the bit with the gun? Oh, right here. See, it looks like flip out cannon. There's a panel here that flips down for the gun to rotate out. That doesn't appear to be. You can see it, the kind of hinge piece here on this cockpit. You can tell that these were done with an older model because that is not present on the final version. It's smooth with a divot and no panel, so you can ignore that. Also, there's a quick convention exclusive reveal of Calidus Asterix mode, which we did see at TFCon already. So I think originally he was planned to be out before TFCon, but so there's the Lost Light colors for their Rodimus mold, which is kind of neat. There's a neater one in Oberon's manual, which we'll get to when we do his video review, although you may have already seen it on my Twitter page. So you get the manual, the bio card with the stats, and it comes in a pretty standard Mastermind's Creations. Again, they ditched the window packaging, but it's okay, nice box. Some cool poses on the back there. So yeah, the sword doesn't really, as I can tell, store anywhere in vehicle mode. It's just kind of a weapon. The Gatling guns do, as you can see, peg on under the turbines. And he does. These are expandable things. We'll go ahead and start transforming him. So you come up here. Actually, want to leave this together. So let's start. We'll do this halfway. Let's go ahead and unpeg the legs here from the bottom. Like that. Bring him down. And when you're transforming him back, make sure you fold these landing gear down before you fold the legs up, and then fold them back up if you want them so, because if you leave them folded up, the legs will interfere with them as you try to fold this whole piece up. You bring this down, and then you can split the legs, rotate the waist around, flip down this little panel right here, bring the feet around. Now there are little buttons here on the side that you use to release the legs. Push those in, and then they should extend like that. So you can give him kind of the digitigrade back folded legs before flipping out his feet. It just gives you an extra joint there in the leg. Fold this back, but they designed them, and the packaging shows, and we can give them kind of a Gerwalk mode. And same with Oberon. Which is kind of, this has the arms up. Obviously, if you want to, you can bring the arms down and give him more of a traditional Gerwalk mode. Although if you have him pinned back here, it's easier to leave him up. But you can give him kind of a Guardian robot mode. Although he does have a ridiculously long tail there. And to finish transforming him all the way to robot mode, we'll go ahead and flip the gun back up in there. Bring the legs all the way down, fold the wheels up, untab these panels right here on either side. There's a little tab hole up in here that goes over this screw hole here. Lift those up, and then the shoulder assembly slides forward and rotates up. Bring his arms down. Again, you can leave the guns, you kind of have to leave the guns pegged in under here. There's not really anywhere else that he can use them in his arms. Maybe he can hold them. Well, actually, I don't even know if the way they're designed, because they have the way they peg on is just with an empty hole there. So they're pretty much designed to just go under here. You can take them off if you don't want them, but if you want them on, that's pretty much where they have to go. Untab these two side pieces from the tail itself. And then this whole assembly, you can see it's kind of tabbed in right here. Just lift this whole thing up and fold it up onto the back like that. There's a couple little pegs that'll hold it in place. And fold it down. And then these all just kind of collapse and fold up onto his back here. Just kind of keep bending them at the hinges until they all collapse up for a fairly compressed back. His head should just flip up. If you want to, you can come under here and push it up through here as you fold this up. And pull his head up, rotate it around, and flip up his little antenna. Lock those down, bring his legs down. And again, you can bring them back and have them, give him the chicken leg kind of look if you wish. Let's go ahead and stand him up here. There's his robot mode. His hands, you slide this little lever up, and that will extend these pieces up, which can bend out to give him his little finger claws. So you got some posability there on the hand itself. Let me go ahead and tilt the camera up just a little bit. Now that we've got them all modified. And he does have, you can kind of see in the middle of these turbines, there's a little piece, these can rotate. There is a piece there, like a tiny little claw hand in the middle that you can use to stick the sword through. And I'm pretty sure those are 5mm. You can probably get some other 5mm weapons in there as well if they have a long enough port to avoid the fingers and still get through that little claw hole up in there. Again, doesn't really help with the Gatling guns, but the little fans do spin. They're separate pieces. They don't spin freely. If you want them to move, you kind of have to rotate them yourself. They don't have a lot of give to them, and they're rotational thing. Friction will stop them. There you have it. A kind of neat looking little whirl with the chicken legs. It's got chicken legs. That's from Invader Zim. There he is with the previous generation's Voyager with all of his weapons on. Although I guess he's got his claws folded back over here. But don't know why I have one hand with there we go. Don't know why I had one of his claw hands folded back. So he's a little bigger, a little sturdier. Again, this guy also has the funky legs. But just like you saw with the button, you can bring these forward and push that button and slide them up and lock them into place. He still has a knee joint there. He actually even still kind of keeps the lower knee joint there as well. But you can give him standard legs if that's more your preference. The button on this side really seems to be a pain in my butt. Come on, you. Let me see if I can fix this. And here we go. It's just, you got to get the right amount of pressure on it from the right angle, which was harder to do from behind the camera. So there he is with just standard straight legs, which also looks good. I like giving him the backwards bent legs just because, but you don't have to do that. And posability wise, like I said, the antenna can move, his head swivels forward. It's got a side-to-side swivel as well as a swivel up here right behind the head. You can see that you actually see the pin joint for it right there. That swivel shoulders forward and back, side to side, bicep swivel. None of these are ratcheted, but he does have dual elbows, so you can get a pretty decent range of motion out of the arm. Each finger has 2 points of articulation back here at the bottom of the blue piece, and then again at the top of the black piece. So you can bring him back and kind of shorten his hands a little bit if that's more your preference. Well, depending on how it's rotated, it could run into some clearance issues with the turbine blade. So you can make them shorter and pointier by folding those back up, or you can leave them long-fingered like this. Not sure what my preference is. I do kind of like the look of that. It does have a waist swivel, hips side to side, ratcheting from the front to back, one of the few ratcheting joints on the figure. These panels are supposed to, I think, stay on the side of the legs, but if you just like the look of them forward, you can kind of bring these around to fill in the front of the leg, just to give them a little bit more bulk there, because the silver does kind of look skinny. The ratcheting knee there, as well as the lower ratchet, and then the foot plate can come up, and the feet themselves, the foots, are on a ball joint. A little limited side to side, or at least stiff side to side, more so than they are front to back. But you can see the ball joint going right there into the foot. So a pretty decent range of posability on this guy. There we go. The disparate blues are a little weird to me because, like I said, again, in the comics, he's more of a, I don't want to say uniform blue, but his head is not quite the vastly different shade of blue than the rest of him. At least I don't recall it to be. Yeah, you can have him hold the sword. You can give him the Gatling guns or not. Like I said, he's not a bad figure. I think I would be... We can lock that all down. I think I'd be more impressed with him had I not gotten him... They not shipped him and Oberon together, because I do feel like Oberon is a far superior figure. And we'll show him off in the next video, and we'll do a comparison with both of them. But there it is, Mastermind Creations R-24 Turban.